Okay, so what we'll be looking for is, here's G-set. Alright, so we're going to go and we're going to open up G-set. And these are all the analyzers on the list, and there's your IP addresses for knowing who's who. Alright, so we're going to connect. I'm assuming that we're already looking to connect to this one. So 127, connect. Communicate with analyzer 106. Okay, what's the current connection? Okay, and so we're pulling that up. And on this software, once we open this up, all right, so there's your oven temp, all nice and happy, everything looks good. What we need is user level C. All right, once we choose user level C, we need 1603. Everybody say it. 1603, 1603, 1603. Execute. User level is now C. Take that and tattoo 1603 to yourself. Okay? Now we have to display. We're going to get rid of the pop-ups because pop-ups are annoying. Let me get my tongue out of there. Do you want to disable pop-ups? Yes. Get rid of the pop-ups because they just piss you off. Now, display, alarm, history, no. Alarm details, no. Chromatogram, we're going to want that. And display analysis results. Alright, so the last time that somebody ran this, so let's get this guy kind of squished. Get this guy over here out of the way, kind of like that. Okay. And then we'll go back over here. Alright, so the last time he ran this, now you see your component number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, and then you see, so make sure we're all okay there. There is your number, there is what it is. We're going to have C5 Plus come out first. We're going to back flush that guy directly to the detector. Then we're going to have these other guys. We're going to trap the lights and release them at the very end, and I will explain that in more detail. Now, once you are over here, we're going to go to our chromatogram, and you can make it full size and then shrink it back down. So let's go back full size, and then I want you to come up here and I want you to take a look at this, because this is what's going to be happening. You're going to have your last chrome is going to be going along, and then it overwrites from the previous chrome, so you can watch and it will basically overwrite itself every chromatogram, and you can compare them. Alright, if that don't make sense, it will in a minute. So we're going to say okay, and then I need to know peak number, so I want that to show me the peak number over the top. I want to know when we're telling it on and off, and by the way, these are all slope gated. And then we're going to say okay on gate, on off, and okay. And that's basically what we need to be looking at right now. And now we're going to go over here. Now, what do you think is run? Really? What do you think is pause? What do you think is stop? Alright, so if we go up here and we're going to tell it to run. Alright, there is running. Now we don't have any sample going at this point in time, but that is how you put it into run. Now, we want to watch our chromatogram and bring this down, and you can see the chromatogram right here. And if you look right there, you see where it's starting to come in. Alright, so what we need to do, okay, something's, so I can do that. Where's my blue? Son of a bitch. I need to figure something out real quick here on this part. Alright, so let me pause here for a second, and then we will continue on. Also, I think I need to get some cow gas, and then I'll show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, so I closed out the chromatogram because I screwed it up somehow or another, but anytime you start having problems, just go back and then display chromatogram, and I brought it back up. Okay, see how this is all blue like that? Alright, so that's normal. And then let me make sure, I'm going to check those boxes again. So we want to see peak on and off, numbers, gate on and off. Okay, and then you see how this looks blue? Alright, now, watch this. It's telling me that that's number 1 peak, and that's telling me the gates, okay? And if I want to wonder, okay, where is the actual timing for it? Then we can, let's zoom in. Alright, now this is where you got to pay attention. Alright, so let's make it not so wide, and so there's our blue, and now we got to come down here and get on the box and then move it. What? There's magic right there. Okay, so you're seeing that, see that, see that. All right, so now let's hit this little guy, and what's happening? We're shrinking that. Let's make it back about that size, and then we got to go over here to this, and we're going to bring it down. And once we bring it down, now we are zoomed in like crazy on this peak. Okay, okay, and then let me see. We will look at our timing, see the timing on there, and we're figuring out our timing here, but these slope gates, they're easy to set, and you just kind of got to hit real close to where you need to be. All right, now we want to run, you notice we have our, oh, I need to turn on some cow gas to this guy, and right now it's supposedly doing just process. So let's go to, okay, measurement state, stream sequence continuous, or stream select continuous, and we're going to want to choose validation. Don't ever do a cal. Validation execute. Alright, so we will begin doing a validation, but we got a long time because this is a 900-second cycle time. And while we're waiting, I'm going to go get the paperwork to show you exactly how we are doing what we're doing with this analyzer. Okay? Okay, so I went and turned on the bottle and got it to go into stream 3. And whenever you do that, it does this super long countdown before it injects, and it does it in seconds and percent. Just, ooh, aren't they fancy? All right, so we're going to be waiting a little bit before we get that going. And as you can see, we have flow coming through our RMAX, and our little titty on the second one is out. When the titty is out, we are purging through that one. Alright, now I gotta find that paperwork and start talking about that. Yes, we do. And by the way, our cow gas is going to be 10. Here's your results that we just did, which is basically smidgen nothing on, there's the date, there's the time, there's your results, and that is for that particular stream. So stream number, peak name. Now let's scroll down. Peak number, stream number, so none of them there. And then we're going to get to the 3s, okay? And we will get results after we do the next run. But it should show up on 3 because we're going to be running stream 3, so we should get it on stream 3. Johnny Mac with the heart attack. Alright, so we're got 41 seconds that we're into this run. There is our chromatogram coming out, and so we should see it over here. Let's do some zooming in. So zoom in, move you, come on over, and then we don't need you as tall, and then move that down. And that first peak should be somewhere around 120, so let's scoot that over to around 120. I think that's what it was, wasn't it? Something like that. So we'll wait for that first peak to come out. Oh, while we're waiting, let's see here. So each analyzer should have come with a book like this from, they build these over in Cold Springs, Texas. Yeehaw. Yeah. So we're going to open this guy up. This is what they calibrated it with before. And ours, I believe, is all 10s except for methane, and that's going to be like an 80 ppm. Alright. I don't want to have to say what HRVOC stands for. Y'all should already know that. And let me find the page that I'll be looking for here. Hold on. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, and I'm going to bring copies of this so that everybody can follow along, and I will explain this out in detail, but it's on my webpage exactly what's going on here. We're circulating a sample, and it's going to be coming in on port number 4, and the valve will be in the off position, so it will then go to port 3, out, fill our sample loop, come back in on 6, go to 5, and then out. Alright, these two valves are both on one valve. These valves look like this chingadera right here. So whenever it says valve 1 and it looks like it's 2 valves, well, it actually is 2 valves in one, because you can have this side and this side. Okay. Also, take a look on my website and you will find the valve. Ooh, looky there. Looky there, looky there, looky there. Okay, so let's go back to here and let's make that big. Okay, too big. Alright, and there we go. And let's move this. Okay, anyway, I want to do that. Something like that. Alright, now that I can see that peak, I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to say, show me peak number. Show me gate time on and off. Okay, let me see. There's my gate time off. There's my gate time on. Alright, do you see her? See? See? And now I want you to show me the peak on and off. And I'm assuming there should be another long one. We can look at the timing in a minute here. But you can see how our chromatogram is still going, but we're focused in on this one peak. Okay. Now, set up and peak, and then it gives you these options, and gate cut method. The user has changed parameter in GC1000. What? I don't know what that meant. A user has changed a parameter in the GC1000. Please restart this application. Okay, I don't know. This software sucks major ass a lot of times. So we are running this. Let me see if it'll do something else. No, I'm gonna have to restart this freaking software. You want to close it? Yes. So we close it. Let's go back over here. Get G set again. Open it up. We're on 106. Connect. Yes. I was trying to kill the program a while ago to connect user level C 1603 and execute. User level changed. Alright, and then display, alarm pop-ups, get rid of that. Alright, display, a chromatogram, display, analysis results. And we're on stream 3, da 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 da, and that's all nice and pretty, going along. Okay, alright, now, setup, peak. Okay, for some reason or another, it's allowing me to do that. Setup, peak, and then I went to the standard concentration. Now, it will only allow you to do cows and stuff like that on stream number 2, but that's what controls everything. For some reason or another, that's the way they did it. That's, just live with it, okay? So gotta go to stream number 2. There's peak number 1. Standard concentration is 10.6. Now this is what they're calling standard area. Now standard area is your response factor. Got it? Got it. Alright, so to go through them, peak number 1, peak number 2, and you have to just know what peak 1, peak 2, and everything is, and this is where we're going to get our results, and then we'll come over here and adjust this as our response factor. If everybody remembers how to do the formula, result times current response factor divided by bottle gives you new response factor. In this case, we're calling it standard area, but it's the same thing. And then once you type that in and execute it, you just calibrated that peak. All right, now I'm going to close that. Now, if you wanted to set up peak, and I want y'all to do this, get your gate cutting method, and peak number 1, stream 1, we are slope gate. All right. And skimming, I think they're all going to be that. Slope gate, skimming, 3, slope. Don't ask me what skimming is, but you know what a slope gate is. Okay? Now, close that. And I'm waiting on results to pop up because where are we at? We're at 77% done. Alright. And everything pretty much is going to be done that we need to do, unless we have to move a valve time. If we have to move a valve time, then we would be doing that. There's your gate on off. So here is peak number 1, and there's our gate time on and off, and 103 to 140. So again, let's go back up here. Well, we had to restart the chromatogram, so we lost the front end of our chromatogram. And where are we at? We are at 82 with 596, 597. So what we would do is we'd write down all of our gate timings and decide if we want to change any of them, and zoom in and make those changes. All right, now let's discuss this over here. Okay, I will bring a copy of this with me in order to explain it thoroughly, because this is how I will explain it. But I want you to go to my web page and take a look at that and try to understand what they're doing with your valve on and your valve off. So basically, we're going to turn the valve on, turn the valve off, and that right here, we're going to send, okay, I'll explain this tomorrow. It's easy to understand, and I will explain it tomorrow. Now, let's continue on over here. Let me let this get finished. I want to see some results. Okay, so like I was telling you, results are coming up, and they're not close. They're not going to be right there. So our new results are already there, because our last 2 peaks is ethane ethylene, and I see them right there, and I just know this because we're at the end of the cycle. You remember that the feces is pause, that's run. Okay, so if I want to see these results, I need to go down to stream number. So let me get this out of the way. Let me, well, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Arrgh. There we go, just do that. All right, so I'll make this wide. Okay, so here's the results, but we need to go down here. And I just scroll until I get to them. All right, and this bottle must not have IC4. We had old bottles that didn't have IC4 in it. So I'll just like live with that for right this second. But you can see we ran a 14, an 8, 16, 5. We got a 0 there. We would need to check our gates and calibrate the way I just talked to you about, response factor. All right, time out for 1 second. All right, we've started a new chromatogram, and just like I was telling you, it is drawing over the last chromatogram, so you can actually watch your repeatability. It does an automatic trace, like on Easy Chrome, you have to actually overlay. In this one, it always is doing, you know, but you can take that option off, but we leave it on all the time. And then you can see my little tick marks. The only thing that I chose for this is gate on off. Okay, and then I want to look at each one of these components, and then there's my gate on off. Now let's again, and once I get that down, and I know my component number 1 is fine, but let me start looking at everybody else with a fine-tooth comb here. With a fine-tooth comb. Okay, and let's see here. I need to make you shorter, a little bit shorter, and then bring you down. All right, and then once we get to where I'm zoomed in, let me get back a little bit. So I'm assuming that is my little gate, slope gate on. There's my slope gate off. And this must be my These look kind of shitty, actually. These look kind of shitty, so I'm going to have to do some adjusting. So right now, what I would do is I would come back over here, and I would say peak and the time that we're doing the gates, and I'd write every single last one of them down, and then we'd come back to the chromatogram. And what I would want to do is, if it's slope gating, I want to put gate on right there. Yeah, gate on right there, gate off right there, because it's a slope gate. Gate on, gate off, gate on, gate off, and then we would get good results, and then we would go through and figuring out, you know, if we're looking right or not. At this point in time, I think I want to bust into the oven for you, but that's the gist on, you know, Yokogawa in a heartbeat and how we are going to, and it'll tell you which component is coming out right now in your time. But there ain't nothing to these things. These are really, really, I mean, they're simple analyzers. Pretty decent repeatability there. I mean, we're super zoomed in, so you can see how it's repeating. It's repeating. Now, let's go back up here, and I'm going to pause, and then it just puts it in hold, and these things get real finicky about everything. So now that I put it in pause and let it get to the end, I'm gonna go kill my cow gas, and killed it there, killed it there. All right, and so I will open the oven for you in a moment and show you some shit. Show you some shit. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go get a new battery. How's everybody doing so far? Let's see. Better? Better? How's everybody doing so far? Yeah, it's a lot to take in. Yeah. But just watch this over and over again, and if you watch it enough times, it'll make sense. It takes a while to memorize a song. takes a while to figure out what's going on and then memorize it and know what the hell's going on. Just keep watching this over and over and over again, and we'll get there. All right, here we go. Again, we're picking back up with carrier is coming in 61. The valve is on, so we're going to release the trap. 61 to 66, it grabs a hold of methane, ethane, ethylene, continues pushing them through column number 3. Then they're going to hit down here, come back in on 65 to 64, and then go through column number 4. They've basically been separated by column 3, but column 4 helps out a little bit more. And then those are the last ones to go to the detector. And who's going to come out first? Of course, methane. Now, C2, H4, C2, H6. Do I need to explain the difference here? Because this is ethylene, and then that's ethane. And if you don't understand that, I'll explain it. But here we go. That is the chromatogram. That is how we're doing it. Now, back over to you. What? Alarm. That's concentration. It's okay. Okay, so now what I want to do for y'all is let's open this hoe. Let's open this hoe. You hear that? It's spring loaded. You'll see. Spring loaded fuckers. And they just kind of grab onto those bars and suck it in. Now, as I was showing you, those valves, so check it out. That would be valve number 1, and they're using both sides of it. That would be valve number 2 that we're doing our trap bypass with, and notice how they're only using one side of it. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. You get out of the way. That is your FID. That is a flame arrestor. Alright, this is nothing more than a T. I got confused as hell with a lot of the ways that they do things here, but don't let it fool you. Of course, you got your regulator carriers. There's your columns, sample shutoff valve. Pretty much simplistic, you know. And you can trace this all out. And if you get over there on, well, let me show you one thing that's kind of cool that they do. They do. See how they put the number on the fitting? So that's a whopping 52. And that matches up with 52. So Yoko kind of did something cool there. I will give them that. That was kind of cool. If you ever have to redo a valve, that's probably... Okay, so we have a constant flow of water, and we have a constant airflow, and we are filling up our sparger, and you see bubbles, and you bubble it, you sparge it, and there's water coming in, you sparge it, there's our back pressure coming over, and then we have our wet leg overflow. Okay, showed you where the sample comes in. I'm filling up a baggie right now to do a bag sample, and this is coming off of the where it would go to the atmospheric header, and we're filling that up. We are currently taking a sample also at the same time, so no, we're not. What's going on? It's our RMAX heater. That shouldn't have a flow going on it right now. Kind of strange. I have to figure that one out. Still not getting my separation the way I want on those peaks right there, but we'll be able to gate it and be able to do what we're wanting to do. Finishing up with that one right there. It's tracking along exactly like it was. I got self a PS. And there's my GC over there, and we're going to run a bag filter, the bag sample through it, but right now we're running cow gas and trying to get everything lined out. Okay, the next thing is we're getting our results out right here. I've already taken my bottle and put the numbers in on my analyzer. So I'm not going to send it through an auto cal. I'm going to actually hand do these. So let's go to setup. Then we need to go to peak, and then we need to go to our standard area. That's the way they do it here. It's basically the same thing as a response factor. The only way you can calibrate this is to be on stream number 2, and that's your calibration stream. And then so peak 1, I am using standard concentration 10.6. Right now my standard area is 153.58. So what we're going to do is 153.58 times 12.75, which is what we just ran, divided by 10.6, which is in the bottle. And we're going to do this for each and every one of the peaks as we go along. So peak number 1, peak number 2, and we're going to have 93.408, and we ran an 11.937 times 11.937 divided by standard is 10.1, and so on. And then whatever we equal out to is what we're going to put in there as our new standard area. Alright, so I hand calculated everything out on what we're doing. There's all of my math, but instead of just actually doing it with a calculator, I wrote everything down, then threw it into an Excel sheet. Once I threw it into an Excel sheet, then I used that formula right there. And that is basically bottle times standard area divided, or what we ran times standard area divided by the bottle. And then that gives us our new standard area number. So, alright, so we calibrated the analyzer. All of those numbers look really, really, really good. Really, really, really good. We are running another chromatogram with cow gas, and then we are going to run the bag sample through it. The bag sample, I'm going to go ahead and bypass the RMAX and not even worry about using the RMAX, and I'm going to go directly straight in. So I'm going to open this, put pressure on the bag. When I put pressure on the bag, we're pushing the bag sample through the sample valve, so we are going to have a good sample in there. Alright, now I'm going to close that back for right this second. When we get close to the end of the cycle, I will begin pushing more through there and make sure that it gets a good inject. You can tell that we're getting close towards the end of the chromatogram because here comes the lights. So there's methane going to be coming up, and then ethylene, ethane, and that would be the end. Alright, so let's get ready to do it. This right here will tell us exactly when we need to go over there. We'll go over there around 95%. So that's 536 seconds. Right now we're at 80%. There is our numbers that we're running. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Chicka, chicka, what? The blue line is the previous chromatogram. The red line is us running right this second. And they'll basically just trace over each other. It repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. Alright, the last run was cow gas, and that's the blue lines, and then this run is process, and you can see that we have a peak number 4. Peak number 4 is isobutane, and now we're running along, and let's see where we're at right now on the chromatogram, because we should have some methane in there. There's a baby 10. 10 must be, what is 10? That's methane. That's methane. 10 is methane.
Oh, it's peak 10.
Yeah, peak 10. That's methane. And then we have ethane, ethylene. We might have a smidgen of ethylene in there. So let's take a look and see what happens there. But yes, we definitely have a little bit of methane, and that comes from our instrument air. And no, not really. Maybe no. Yeah, it's a tiny bump. It's a baby bump. So there's a little bit of ethylene and no ethane. It will go down in flat line saying no ethane. So there it is, and we will get our results here in a second. And we know we're calibrated. There's 2 good runs of cal gas, and we are calibrated. And there we got our numbers zeros, except for IC4 we got a 1.473. And then down there on methane we got a 2.02. And ethylene we got a 0.222.